One of the things I've learned from Lusaka is that I think one of the things we need to learn in our performance contract is to beat the traffic. Now that our president is spot on time, then we just have to learn to navigate the traffic. Your Excellency, it is my singular pleasure to thank you for accepting to preside over this auspicious occasion for the signing of the ministerial performance contracts for the financial year 2023-2024. Your Excellency, Kenya's overall development agenda, as espoused in the Vision 2030, is dependent on a public service that is citizen-focused, results-oriented, efficient, motivated, and foremost corruption-free. Consequently, the government has adopted strategic initiatives based on the aspirations of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, better derived from the Kenya Kwanza manifesto. The aim is to capitalize on the gains already made from implementation of public sector reforms to spur socio-economic development. Performance contracting is one of the fundamental performance management tools being implemented in the public service. This prized tool has been implemented continuously for the last 19 years, and its full entrenchment will ensure the realization of our country's long-term economic development goals. Your Excellency, the first-level performance contracts are signed annually between yourself and the respective cabinet secretaries, and thereafter cascaded to downstream institutions. These contracts provide linkages between planning, budgeting, and clear deliverables. It is worth noting that the performance contracts being signed today are the first under your administration. There is excitement that your administration has aligned budgets to specific programs and projects under the medium-term plan 4, which is better sector priorities. This ensures synergy between budgetary resources and specific targeted deliveries. The introduction of performance contracts in the public service gives credence to the urge, which has been referred to, what gets measured gets done. Adoption of performance contracts by ministries, departments, and agencies establishes uniformity, consistency, and objectivity in measuring public service performance. Sustained implementation of the contracts should enable public institutions to refocus on improving institutional governance and efficient use of public resources, leading to effective service delivery as demanded by us by the Constitution. Principal secretaries, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, let me start as follows. It gives me a great pleasure to meet you today as chairpersons and vice chairpersons of the sectoral working groups established during the Nanyuki retreat held in January 2023 to drive the delivery agenda of government. So you're familiar, we were together in Nanyuki, and we are building on what we started in Nanyuki. The second issue is that I wish to congratulate you all for taking the leadership roles amongst your colleagues in ensuring that the 5 sectors take shape and deliver tangible and impactful initiatives for the government. As senior ranks of the executive, it is your duty to ensure that the whole of government approach is embedded in the operations of your committees and that you identify key priority projects, programs, and policies and align them to the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. I trust that we all have read and appreciated the guidelines on the framework for coordination and supervision of government business across MDAs and are familiar with the reporting structures. This is important because these guidelines went through cabinet, and what we are basically working with are guidelines that have been approved at cabinet level. So we are consistent with the broader policy direction given at that level. Of importance is that the culture of the silo mentality in the public service must end. We must kill the silo mentality. We must work together, and it should be replaced with consistent coordination, collaboration, and collective responsibility within and between MDAs. Now, this is a very interesting thing. When we talk about the silo mentality, I'm sure as PSS you're also familiar that the Principal Secretary on Parliamentary Affairs are doing the round tables so that we really come to terms and agree on our legislative agenda as government. Some interesting developments are arising where departments within one ministry are not talking to each other. So that there's a legislation, you're in the same ministry, there has been no internal consultation, so the same piece of legislation is being proposed for amendment, and no harmony has taken place amongst themselves. Now that can be very dangerous. So part of the issues they are going to help us with is to really kill that silo mentality so that we talk to each other from where we are first before we even figure out how to talk to some of the other issues.